My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Jessie.
And I'm Natalia. And today we are doing something new-ish, sort of new.
Yeah. I mean, it's
sort
like
of new.
It's a play off of something we've always done, and a lot of podcasts do.
Yes.
But we decided to go a little crazy.
We went we're basically doing something that we literally did like last week, but
that's true.
We're doing it on crack. We made a lot of work for ourselves.
We did
for this episode. And we did this mostly because since it was just the two of us this week and we could just do whatever we wanted, we came up with this idea. So it's well known, if you listen to us, that a thing that we do is we'll watch the first 2 episodes of a show, and then like a newly airing show, and then we'll come and talk about it and decide if we want to keep watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we thought, wouldn't it be fun if we picked a streaming service, Viki, because Viki's really the only one that this actually works with, okay? Like, it's the only one that this works with the way that Netflix. We set it up. Netflix sometime, okay. Depending. Depending on the month, Netflix. But, and then we picked a show from 4 different countries and watched the first 2 episodes.
I only watched the first episode because I thought that was what we were doing.
That's fine. We can also.
Is that okay? I'm so sorry.
Fine. It's okay. I watched the first 2 episodes.
I don't know why I had it down like in my notes as 1 episode.
Don't worry about it. Okay. We're not going to do spoilers anyway. It still 100% works for the content.
I'm so sorry. People who are listening to us, I'm so sorry. I already failed.
It's fine. It's fine. I had more time anyway, so... And then we are coming here to talk about it and to decide, this is the Watchlist Roulette situation that happened, if we are going to keep watching the show.
Yeah.
And so the way we did it was, basically you go on Viki, you go into like their search function, and they have like countries, and you can just click a country, and it'll show you like the newest shows that have been added from that country. So, we chose 1 Chinese show. We chose 1 Thai show. We chose a Korean show. And we chose a Japanese show.
Now, this is like where we like ended in our like stipulations for what we picked. Like,
basically, when it loaded in like the newly added, we just picked one that was on the top row.
I mean, we didn't even we didn't pick like things like I hadn't like known really about any of the dramas that we picked, or like very, very little. Like
I had heard a little bit about some of them, and like a few of them I knew only because in the coming up live streams that we do on the last Wednesday of every month, it would have appeared as one of the shows coming.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't even, it doesn't click in my brain to connect.
Yeah, it doesn't
whatever.
Go together.
But we also picked something that was airing, like it's airing currently, which I was like, whoa, okay, we did that.
So I think all of them now have finished airing.
Yes, I think our J-dramas from last year too, right?
The J-drama was from last year, but just got added to Viki.
Mm-hmm.
The Thai drama was also from last year, but just got added to Viki. And the Chinese drama just finished airing.
Yeah,
and
the newest one.
As did the K-drama just finished airing.
Yeah, that's right.
Literally yesterday.
But it was still airing when we decided to do this.
To do it. So yesterday as of recording, not yesterday as of...
Oh man, I now wish I had done 2 episodes, because some of the ones I stopped on in the first episode, now I'm thinking
leaving a lot. But don't worry, I can fill in the gaps.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Listen, I'm fine with you talking about too. I'm just sorry that you now have 4 episodes worth of work more than I did, and I feel bad about that.
It's fine, because you'll soon find out for a lot of these, I actually wish I could have watched more.
Oh, yeah.
And also the other thing that we did was they're all wildly different genres.
Oh, yeah. We did not, and we didn't even try to pick, what we liked. Literally, the only stipulation we did give ourselves was we made sure it wasn't going to be a bad situation. How the J-dramas really love their student-teacher relationships.
Yeah, we didn't want any of that.
We don't want that sort of surprise, so we made sure we didn't like pick those. I mean, I guess to be fair, it doesn't happen in the first episodes. Let me just say that. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and it doesn't look like it will.
Yeah, none of the 4 we picked would be really weird. I guess one of them, could,
but I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
So for everyone wondering, what did we pick? So for the Chinese drama, we picked the just finished airing historical very dramatic drama.
Very dramatic.
The Glory. A lot do be happening in the first 2 episodes of that drama. Like,
oh my gosh, the first episode was just like
episode 2 goes hog wild.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
And now for something completely different. In the Thai show, we chose the teen gang
the
drama.
The teacher who helps out the
troubled children become friends from opposite gangs. High School Frenemy. Mm-hmm. For the Korean drama, we chose the You're Gonna Die in a Week sad drama, Way Back Love. And for the Japanese drama, we chose the just before World War II detective psychic show, Usotoki Rhetoric.
Yes.
So those are the 4 that we're going to talk about in that order.
So
it's such a wild array. Like, the really vibes of each of these dramas is so completely different than the order that I watched them in was Usotoki Rhetoric, High School Frenemy. Yeah, that was a mistake. You'll find out later. High School Frenemy, The Glory, and then Way Back Love. Those were my...
I think I switched the last 2. Maybe? I can't remember. The last 2 I actually did on the same night.
Yeah.
So
it's like you did. It's like you watch them at the same time.
That's true.
So we're going to start by talking about The Glory.
Yes.
Which is the Chinese drama, not the Korean The Glory.
We did an
episode. We did an episode on that one.
That's true, we did.
We did back in the last
year, I think. The other time I messed up and thought we were supposed to be recording something, and so I was panic watched it all in a day.
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I'm so sorry. I can't be an adult.
Listen. Jessie, you've been friends with me for how many years? You know what I get up to. One little behind the scenes. One time we showed up to a recording. This was early on. We were.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we were supposed to be. I thought we were supposed to be talking about the movie Double World that has Henry Lau in it. So, and since I do the intro, I started just being like, oh yeah, today we're going to do this. And then everyone else in the call was looking at me like I was insane.
This is back when we didn't do our videos.
No, this was
because we were like, wait. But we all did the thing where we're like, am I the problem? Am I the one who did this?
And then you could just see everyone opening the Google Calendar to be
just checking.
No, it was me. It was bad. So it's fine. We've all been there. But we are going to talk about The Glory first.
Yes.
And so that's a Chinese drama. It's a historical.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous looking.
Very gorgeous.
The outfit's beautiful.
The opening is very beautiful as well. It's this animated stained glass opening. It's so pretty.
It's nice. It follows this young woman who has a freshly born baby. A Taoist fortune teller came to her parents and was like, she's haunted by a ghost. You need to kick her out of the family.
Yes, kick this baby out.
Kick this baby out of the family. So her father sends her to live with one of his friends, in another part of the country. And the people that he sends her to live with are just awful to her the entire time.
It's kind of like in Les Mis.
Yeah!
When Cosette gets, given to the 2.
Mm-hmm. And so then something happens and they end up dead.
Yeah.
And something happens.
Something happens.
We don't, as of the first 2 episodes, we don't know.
Yeah, we have no clue. But something big happened.
And then she like makes her way back to her family, who does not want her.
No, but they also do this like really weird thing. So like the first time you see her, she's like lying in the snow, like in front of the like steps of their house.
Collapsed, barefoot in the snow.
And they're like, oh my god, she's returned. And then they just like kind of walk.
They like run away from her.
And you're like, what are you doing?
And I will say, in the second episode, you meet her actual mother. And her actual mother is played by Wen Zhangrong, who I feel has been waiting her entire life to play the most evil bitch you can possibly imagine, because this woman is psychotic. Okay, she's just awful, and so the family doesn't want her. Her dead sister's widower is also like top cop.
Yeah.
And he's like, I heard that the people who raised you were dead. And that's mysterious.
Interesting.
Somehow, what happened there? And she's like, like it was a horrible scene. Some men with knives rushed in. I barely got away. And he's like, she's lying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's lying, but I like can't prove it yet.
Yeah.
And then in the second episode, sorry, Jen, I'm gonna be
please.
There's another assassination attempt in her house that you very quickly find out she done staged herself. Because she's trying to like work her way in, like figure out what all the alliances in her family are.
Yeah.
To figure out how to like work everyone against each other. This show's kind of crazy. And then she has like a lady bodyguard who's like secretly like in cahoots with her. Very cool. And it hints that there's like some sort of backstory there. And then the cop guy's like,
yeah, it's because the cop guy she was technically betrothed to before she was born. Right?
And then he was married to her younger sister.
Yeah, when she left, then it got transferred over to the younger sister.
And then the younger sister died under mysterious circumstances that no one will tell her what they were. Yeah. And then you meet, like, her half-siblings, because the dad's got 2 wives.
Of course he does.
And they hate
there's
her.
More. I'm sure in the 30 episodes we find more.
The dad's kind of a loser. The house is completely run by her mother, who is crazy and awful, and also in a wheelchair, which is very fun. Oh. But then you find out that she became crippled during the birth of her.
Oh.
So she also hates her daughter because of that. Tries to beat her daughter to death and throw her out of the house. But the dad's like, no, please. Like, she didn't do anything. That's like, I need you to, like, chill out. And then the mom's like, you're gonna tell me to chill out? Like, you're gonna tell me to chill? And it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, like, crazy shit is going on. And that's like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, which is a lot. I will say that this, out of all of them, is probably the worst one to have only watched one of.
Yeah.
I don't think it, like, my impression of it was given a fair chance because of just one. Like, I didn't hate watching it, but it's so much.
There's so much information that's delivered. And
it's like, as soon like the end of the episode is kind of like cut off, like, in the middle of the story, you know?
Yeah. And like, it is, so in each episode is like 40 minutes. And when I tell you, they jam-pack those 40 minutes
it's full of ton of stuff. And like, she's getting constantly bullied by like every other person. So she's like constantly getting attacked, even like outside of assassination attempts.
She's just chilling.
She's just like, I just got here.
That is, like, if any of them were assassination attempts, which we don't know.
We don't know. But like, was the first episode, besides what you see like before, like establishing where she was and when she comes back, didn't it feel like it was all in like one day?
All of it happened so quickly.
It felt to me that it was like one day, but then like everybody knew her and everybody was like doing like, it's kind of like some of the other characters who are like kind of lesser of importance in time, like ranking, still have that like, you know, annoying royalty, like never been actually raised human being type vibe. So they're like, you know, kind of like annoying. So like they're all like doing that to her, and it just like all these things just kept happening. And then the assassination attempt like is like at the very end of the first episode.
Yeah. And like so the things happen at such a quick pace that you're like, I'm just learning who these characters are.
I just need to know relationships. Like, who is this person? Are they?
I will say, it is actually a shame you didn't watch episode 2 because in the second episode she has an entire. This I think was written in to help the audience. She has an entire conversation with her little secret lady bodyguard where she details each of the members in the family and their personalities and how they all interact with each other as part of like their fact finding. Like, so it was very nicely, like it was like, okay, so this person, so my dad, he's not very smart, he's you know, everything's run by my mother, blah, blah, blah. And it just like did like a very like matter-of-fact breakdown for this other woman, like, and for us the audience.
Yes, because we need it.
These are all the people.
This is a 30 episode, right?
Yes, 30 episodes, which is pretty standard for like a saga like this.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, it's pretty standard.
Oh, it like stopped airing April 1st. So very early on.
I did enjoy the first 2 episodes.
I like honestly like it was like a little like I don't know what's going on, but I didn't hate it too. So that's why I'm thinking that like maybe if I like at least gone to like 4 episodes, I think I might like really solidify and potentially get really involved with this drama.
Yeah.
I don't normally watch like C dramas or like historicals. But, like, that doesn't mean I won't.
Yeah, this one does look like it has a lot of potential for being very, like, sort of very much similar to one of my favorite dramas of last year, The Double, which had very similar, like, daughter returning from exile, but due to very different reasons in The Double. And also, this isn't even a spoiler, the premise of the show, not actually their daughter. Someone who has taken their daughter's identity.
It's always the politics and the family secrets and the birth.
And then, you know, like there's like some sexy dude who's like tangentially related and also a cop.
Of course.
Who I'm sure if I'm looking at my drama list and it says they fall in love. So I guess that
I think it's
to look forward to.
There must be something also like an epic like unto their romance story too.
Also, he has a mysterious illness, apparently.
Yeah, and
really gone into.
We'll get back to the, you know, couple that took her in who are not good people, like in very different ways. They were back to each other too.
But she keeps telling people they were good foster parents, so she's just lying to everyone.
Yeah, and I wonder what that is.
I will say, like the main actress. Incredible.
So okay, so this is the one thing I did like go searching when I was like looking at. I don't know anybody like in like well, I can't say that. I do know some actors and actresses in China, but like she's not one. So it's Chen Duling who is the thing, and I looked on her biography that's on my drama list, and I'm gonna just read it to you because I read it and I was like, oh, okay. So she is an undergraduate student of the School of Mechanical and Electrical Engineering of Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics, and also a graduate of the Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics.
Okay.
So, like, what is she just like, I'm just gonna do some acting on the side, but I'm like this brilliant, like, amazing, like,
you know what, good for her. Good for her.
Like I read it and I was like, oh, okay, I like you.
Like in Thailand, great. A lot of them have like, you know, like one of the leads of Last Twilight is a dermatologist who just acts on the side.
Yeah, it might have been a Thai drama. I remember I was reading on like the female lead, and she like had studied in America to learn how to get her pilot's license, and she has all these like licenses, and I'm like, okay.
You know, like, listen, being an actor in Asia does not pay as well.
It doesn't.
I just like,
actor but like also think about like how much work being in a drama is, especially like a historical one, because you have like the added like hairstyles and added clothing and stuff like that. And then she's just like, yeah, and also I'm like a grad student and like one of the hardest disciplines, like just cause, I guess.
Why not?
Why not?
But the acting in it is fantastic.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like in the first 2 episodes, and I really, I enjoyed it. Will I keep watching it? Wait till the end of this episode to find out, because we will be saying all that after we talk about all the shows. But yeah, no, that one was really good. And as always, these are all on Viki. So if that sounded like fun to you, that's where it is.
Yeah.
In taking it somewhere completely wildly different.
The wildest one. This one I think we had the most like to talk about. Like,
listen, I was literally texting Jessie about this one. I watched it like the day before she did, and I was like, this shit is crazy. We started watching High School Frenemy.
It's kind of how do we put it?
Okay, first off, I need to be fully transparent. We are not the demographic this show was made for.
100%.
Whatsoever.
No,
okay?
not at all.
That's not saying the show wasn't fun.
No.
I'm just saying we're not the ones the show is made for.
Yes, very much so.
So the show opens with this delivery boy who like helps this dude escape from a bunch of like
gang members,
thugs. I don't know. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, man, whatever, like, cool. And then he like goes back, and there's like a lady at his dad's like noodle cart who wants to buy some noodles, because that's what you do at a noodle cart. He's like, ma'am, I'll make you some noodles. And he's like, oh. And apparently
she's very pretty, so like they kind of like pretty. Focus on that.
And very obviously not Thai.
Yes.
And so he immediately tries talking English to her. And is like, oh, you're a teacher. You're a teacher. I speak a little English. And she's like, I am a teacher, but I teach Thai. Like, so I do speak Thai. And he's like, oh, I see you teach at like the school I go to. And she's like, wait, if you go to this school, like, are you old enough to deliver food? And he's like, I took a break for a couple years. I'm 19. It's totally cool. And then you get introduced to like the politics of the 2 gangs of this school. Yeah. So this school has 2 campuses. And the students at each of these campuses, for some reason,
are terrible.
Hate each other.
And they're also just awful. Independently
They're all
terrible.
Bad people. Okay?
They're not good students.
Listen, I do have a comment about this a little later.
Okay.
Because the show really wants us to believe
both
of these groups of students are equally bad.
They're equally bad, and they are the worst of the worst.
Yeah, they're terrible. They fight. They don't really study.
Wants you to make
they suck.
They are scary human beings. That's like what the show wants you to
like
believe.
He's coming back to school. He immediately encounters people from his campus who are like hassling an autistic student, played by Mark Packin, who is so delightful. And then he's like, guys, stop fucking harassing this random autistic kid just because he goes to the other campus. Jesus Christ. And so they're like, oh, you're no fun, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, yeah, I'm not, whatever. So they arrive at school where the administrators have come up with an incredible idea that they are going to combine the 2 campuses to finally get rid of this gang once and for all. And I'm like, this is a really dumb idea.
This is not going well. But
okay.
Sure.
So then, like, the new students from the other campus arrive in this classroom. And the, like, pilot classroom, the teacher you met before has been put in charge as the homeroom teacher.
Which, like, is the worst case. Like,
terrible. Because they basically, they, like, terrorize their last teacher into quitting. And so they put this brand fresh new, still idealistic teacher in charge of this class of literal delinquents.
Yeah.
And then the other campus comes in. Like, when I'm talking delinquents, I mean, they're constantly having these, like, fucking...
They're just, like, fighting.
Like, that the cops show up and drag them off. And there's this one poor beleaguered cop who's like, guys, please.
Yeah. This is a strain on this community. Like they're really having
please, I need you to stop.
They're just like fighting. That's all they're doing. Like they just like look at them and they're just like trying to strangle each other. Like that's all.
So you meet like a few more characters.
Yeah.
Like you meet the previous class president, who is the only person in this class that studies, who is desperate to not be the class president anymore. He does not want to deal with these people. He just wants to get out of here, okay? You find out, like, the autistic kid, he comes in. But okay, so the second episode, a little preview for Jessie, I don't think was a little preview. I don't think she's going to be keeping on with this one.
How can you guess?
Find out that the leader of the other gang and the main dude used to be best friends.
Yeah, you get like the little snippet of it at the end of the first episode.
But they had a mysterious falling out that as of the first 2 episodes has not been revealed to us. And so the main dude, Saint, is constantly trying to get Shin to like him again.
Yeah. And Shin thinks of him as like a bad human. Like he's like
Shin is like, fuck you, I hate you,
like
I want nothing to do with you.
They very much played up. Like also I like watched the little like teaser clip at the end of it. They very much played up, not like they're fighting like because of how everybody else in this classroom is fighting.
This is a personal.
This is like
grudge.
Personal. He is not a good human being. Like
he hates him. But like you get the sense that maybe it was all just like a big misunderstanding because like he seems like a pretty nice guy,
and he like does like stick up for people. Like
he sticks up for people, even if it's just like being like, guys, stop. And like they're constantly trying to like hit him, and he's just like, yeah, man, punch me. What am I gonna like?
Yeah, whatever. And he just like goes back to sleep on his desk.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. So then the principal, things go awry. They're constantly fighting, and this teacher's like trying to get them to like open up to her, like, I'm gonna rap with the kids.
Very classic, like, teacher trying to like get all the unruly youth.
And so there's like 2 administrators. There's like a lady administrator who's from one campus who came up with the idea of combining the campuses, and then there's like this fella who was from the other campus who's like, this is a terrible idea.
All of it's just a terrible. You're gonna pick her. This is a terrible idea. This is horrible.
So he then goes to like recruit another teacher who currently works at like a cram school, who used to be a student at this school. And he's like, I need you to come in and be like the asshole teacher to her nice teacher. Like good cop, bad cop situation. So he shows up and he's just like, oh, I'm not nice like she is. Like, fuck off, kids. Like, oh, you think you can bully me? I don't fucking think so.
Well, also here's the level, because we haven't talked about like the level of what this like the female teacher will allow. There's one point where she's trying to break up 2 of the female students who are just fighting with each other, and she gets slapped in the face by one of the girls, and she just like allows it to happen. I was like, well, that's why your school is like this. Like very clearly, I figured out. Like this is the level of what this like female teacher is doing. She's kind of just like allowing it, and I know they're like trying to make it like so. Then she's
trying to become friends with them. Yeah. But this teacher they bring in is just like, I don't like you. We're not friends.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. And he's the English teacher, which is sort of funny because like he's a Thai English teacher, but he's not Thai and is teaching Thai. It's a good time. But here's what sort of got me. It's like they're like, oh, these 2 gangs are equally bad, equally terrible. But one gang has befriended the autistic kid, and even like the autistic kid is clearly from a rich family, and he's always like, oh, let me buy you things. And then Shinli's like, no, you don't have to buy us things. Like, please. And he's like, no, like I want to. And so they're really nice and inclusive to this clear outsider. Whereas the other gang is not inclusive and kind to people. So I'm just like, you're trying to make me believe that one of these gangs is like they're equally as bad, but then you're showing me they're not. They're like one gang is actually better than the other gang. And it sort of culminates in the second episode with the main character Saint was from the one campus. So the gang's constantly trying to get him to like actually be in their gang. And he's like, I don't fucking like you guys. I have no interest in being in your goddamn gang. And so they're like, we're going to beat you up. But like, they can't beat him up because he's also like, there's a very clear
good.
Yeah, and there's also like a very clear workout montage where it's like, this boy is ripped to hell. And so like,
and he is like older than.
Yeah, he's a little older than them because he did take a break from like, he had to leave school and he came back. And so then you find out there's like a backstory to how this like gang situation began in the past, where there was like a student who was being bullied who then like killed himself, and then like the blame was being thrown between two different groups. And then you find out the teacher who gets brought in was actually a witness to what happened. So at the end of like episode 2, they like are like, you know, being aggressive with Saint. He's like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. And so they like are trying to beat him up. And he's like, I'm just going to like piece out of this situation. And so as the teachers come up to break up this fight that they've heard is happening, he literally jumps off the roof of the building. And so this other teacher has like a PTSD flashback and they all run. They're like, Saint, no. But it turns out my boy knows parkour. So he has like jumped onto like scaffolding and is just very calmly like
coming down,
making his way to the ground, and they're all like, and then later there's another fight where they're just bullying the autistic kid again, and then this fight erupts with like everyone screaming at each other, and the autistic kid has like a meltdown, and right when like the administrator is bringing all of these like people through, like, oh look, we're gonna really reform the school, the autistic kid picks up a chair and throws it out a window, and that's where we end in episode 2. And I'm just like, I see what we're doing here. Now, the one thing I said to Jessie while we were watching this is I need to point out, I don't think this is a BL.
No, I like there's also I saw one comment on my trauma list, and it's very funny, and I'm going to read it later, but like, I don't think this is labeled as a BL, so I don't know if this is a BL, but
all of these guys' problems would be solved if they just kissed each other. Yeah, if they just explored each other's bodies instead of fighting each other. Like,
it has this little like, you know, little bit of a West Side Story kind of thing going on with the two, and I just want them just like to sit there and like snap and then dance and then sing and then fall in love and kiss.
Yeah, and because like that's the vibe.
Specifically, the two male leads, because oh my god, them together.
Just like the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
That nobody told them it wasn't a BL.
No, it's just listen.
Or they fell in love
on set. They're playing it like it is.
Yes.
And it's just like, listen, the acting is fine in this. Like, it's
here's the thing.
Enjoyable.
It's, like, not terrible, but when they are, like really mean and, like, stuff like that, it's, like, so very clear. Like, they're not intimidating whatsoever. So I was to a point where I was like, oh, this is interesting. They actually made it, like, high schoolers who are like, you know, fighting, but like they still like have that like you're just annoying and you're like kind of have secondhand embarrassment. And then they cut to them being like the teachers discussing how terrible and like how dangerous they are, and I like laughed out loud because I was like, oh, that's not
like what sort of made me laugh is that like the dude playing like the leader of the gang of one school, he's such a short king. Like he's so little. And I'm just like, oh, like he's got real Chihuahua energy. Yeah. Like he's so tiny compared to everyone. And they've got like AJ and JJ, the two notorious GMMTV twins, as his like little backup. And I'm like,
you're just like sitting there like, oh, okay. But like also, I don't know if they're like as terrible. I mean, they do like they do almost each other. Like there is the girls that like actually end up slapping the teacher, but like the other guys do almost punch the teacher or like try to assault her too, but get stopped by Saint.
Yeah, because Saint's just good guy energy. But yeah, it's just
it's
It's just, you know.
But here's the comment. It's like the first, or like it's in the review section, but it's like not a review. It just says romance, not bromance is the title. And then in the description, this is gay. I'm not joking. This show is more flaming than a parade float. Laughing my ass off. I was like, yeah, I think that.
This masterpiece of chaotic gay tension masquerading as a school drama has no business being as homoerotic as it is. All right, user Mimi Cat, killer review. But like, you know what? Even though we were clearly not the intended audience for this show, it is always nice to try things.
Mm-hmm.
And will we continue? Wait to find out.
Yeah.
But this show
Wait to find out.
Wait to find out at the end of this episode. Yeah. The show was something. Okay, yeah. The show was something. I will say, like, the main dude's action choreography was great.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. I will say that the female students, they're not good at. they're
not very intimidating.
No, it's just like holding your arms out, kind of.
Yeah, like it's a real like you know, just sort of like frantically
and like
slapping at each other.
Scary! You're so scary. I'm sure the teacher will grow on them, and then it'll be redeeming at the end. Like
I'm sure she's gonna rap with the kids. I'm sure like the misunderstanding that caused
someone's gonna cry with her, and it's gonna be like a very sentimental moment. I'm sure that all will happen.
Oh, I just saw the next review from Robin EX, which says 1 gay, 2 saint. What the fuck? If the fuck you mean this is bromance, it's giving Baku Deku level of friendship. Yeah. So everyone really picked up the same vibe that we did. That we were like,
we didn't make it up.
I think they should kiss. You know.
Like my last note is they def love each other.
There's some like homoerotic tension.
Yeah, absolutely. And literally, I only saw the first episode, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you didn't even get into like the second one where he's trying to win him back. Like
you're only on screen together for like 2 seconds.
12 seconds, yeah. No, they're on screen together quite a bit in the second one. Mostly of Saint being like, please be my friend again. And him being like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck you indeed. I see. I'm reading between these lines, you know? And that's not just the BL girlies coming up. Jesse's not a BL girlie.
No.
She's not with me. She's not.
Watch it, but like, I'm not like.
She rolls with me, but like. She's not, you know, she's not a Fuzoshi like a Natalia over here. So, like, she doesn't always see gay, where...
I mean, like, I see gay, but, like, not always, like, BL, you know?
Yeah, like, sometimes the gay is there, even if the writers don't realize that
the gay is there a lot.
Listen, if you don't want us to ship these characters, stop writing them with romantic foils.
Like, I'm sorry that, like, you haven't picked that out about yourself. Like, I think you need to like do some soul searching, and like,
I think it's like if you've written something so gay and not intending to, maybe think about how you're writing male characters. Are you writing male friendships appropriately?
Anyway, it's to really switch things up.
We've really gone to a whole new realm.
Level.
We watched Way Back Love, which is a just finished airing as of this recording day. 6-episode mini
very
drama
tiny.
Starring Gong Myung, who I think is so sweet.
Yeah.
And Kim Min-ha, who is such a good... I didn't realize how comedic she could be.
I went into this drama knowing absolutely nothing about it. And I didn't even know the bare bones, and then I clocked it, but like in an unintentional way. And then when it happened, I was like, yeah, okay. I guess I spoiled myself there, didn't I?
Yeah. So it follows this woman in her 20s with severe depression. Actually, I thought that they really like portrayed depression so accurately.
Yeah.
That I was just like, damn, a little too real, son.
Also,
like,
the way that it goes back and forth between time, at least the first episode does, and this darkness, drastic change between before and after is very, very
It's
like
vast.
jarring. So yeah, I think that like in terms of like just deep despair and depression, it's really like accurate to what it is.
So she's just like going about her life being miserable, and then she gets a knock on her door, and she opens it, and there's a fellow there who's like, "Hey, it's been a while since we saw each other," and she's like, "What?" And then you very quickly find out the reason she's freaking out is one, this was her high school crush from back in the day that she hasn't seen in 4 years because he died.
He's dead.
And he's dead. And so he's there, and he's like, "Guess what, girl? Your boy's a Grim Reaper. Hi, hello. You're gonna die in a week. And, like, I'm just here to, like, facilitate that, and, like, let's clean up your house. Let's, like, make sure you have a good last week. Like, you don't want your dad and your sister finding your depression hut like this. Like, let's just, you know, change things." And she's like, "This can't be happening. This can't be happening." And then it just keeps going to, like, show their friendship, how it formed back in high school. And which then which is...
Well, it's the complete opposite of what's going on in the present day. Because she is the more outgoing, like, and he was very timid, reserved, didn't do anything. And she was the one that was constantly making him go do stuff and do other things. I mean, like, he wasn't, like, depression levels that she is.
No, he was just
awkward. Like they're flip-flopped between the two.
And so you find out that their friendship began on April Fool's Day when they had a student teacher. So the students all did a little prank where everyone picked someone else and switched their name. But then she figured out that when she was going by his name, she has a lot of good luck.
Yeah.
And so she insists that everyone keeps calling her by his name and him by her name. And then she keeps doing things under his name that then reverberate back to him. Yeah. And actually, I genuinely, like, had a little laugh, because one thing that she does is she tries to get the library to, like, order, like, basically BL manga. And the library, like, puts out a notice, like, these are the books that were ordered and who ordered them and if they were approved or not approved. And so then it leads to this little subplot, which I don't know if this was in mostly episode 1 or mostly in episode 2.
I think it's 2.
Okay, where 2 other little BL girlies are like, "We didn't know you were one of us," like, and start giving him, like, recommendations for, like, like gay mangas and stuff. And since he's such a nice guy, at one point he's like, "Stop giving me books," and they look so sad. And then he's like, "Okay, I did read that one, and I did think it was very good and everything." And then they're like, "We knew it. We knew you were one of us." But then he's trying to get her to stop doing it. But to no avail. Like, at this point, teachers are calling her by his name. Yeah, he started, and, like, it's gotten so bad that he is instinctually responding to, like, her name. And so he's being driven insane by her. But meanwhile, through being driven insane, he's like, but she's kind of cute. She's
going in there.
Cute though.
Yeah,
she is kind, because she is so cute. She has little freckles. She's like,
because she's like, in the, like, earlier ones, it's kind of like more annoying sister, but, like, I'm not saying that, like, there is a romance involved, but, like, you know, like, she's annoying, but she's, like, it feels very, like, she's just also flighty too, and just, like, that's how her connection with people is just a little bit off, or, like, what would be considered, like, should be considered weird. So, like, there's never, like, any malice behind it, too, so that makes it a little bit endearing. So you're like, she's annoying, but, like, she's kind of sweet. And then, like, she genuinely, you see moments where, like, when she has his name, things go really well for her that never did. And so you're like, she definitely, like, actually believes his name is giving her good luck, and that's why she's doing it. Because there's even, like, this one moment where he's like, "What did I do to you?" Like, and she's like very confused by what he's asking, because it's after an incident again where you know, she switched names, and he's like, did I do something to you? And she's like, no, I'm fine with it. Like,
I thought we were friends. Like, we're friends, right? We're friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, are we friends?
And he's just like very confused, but it's like very sweet because there's like a moment where it becomes a kind of an issue that like parents have been brought in, because they're getting like, it's getting weird because it's also like starting to affect like, you know, scholarships or whatever, you know, like important details, and they kind of just like hash it out, like it's not like that big of a thing, but it's like he's just with his mom, and the mom is like, after it, she's just like, I'm just so happy that like you found someone because I was so worried, and like
because like he only had one friend other than that, like he had a single friend,
because they had just like moved. And like her dad is so sweet, and like it definitely exactly how you would picture who raised her, you know?
Yeah. So
it's just like, it has a lot of like really great little sprinkles of moments.
It's like the first 2 episodes were very heartfelt. Like I know Jessie hasn't watched this, but in the second episode he starts taking her to do like a bucket list, but like it'll have like a really big grand thing that they want to track off, but they won't be able to do that. So then it like becomes like they, you know, she wants to, you know, he wants her to go like listen to a grand, like a symphony at the, you know, at the Korea Opera House, but that's not really available. So they go to like see like this like community theater, like seniors over 70 learning to play instruments concert. Like it's just, and it's clearly like his bucket list that she's now doing because
it's her name.
She got nothing else going on, and apparently she's gonna die in a week, so whatever. It's really charming. It's a really heartfelt little thing.
It's like, it's interesting too because it does like it first starts off very mellow, like but then it kind of like really like starts to show
comedy.
Comedy and just like kind of sweet, heartfelt, like kind of almost just like slice of life almost. I was surprised by it.
I had no idea. Like the thing is, like I only knew the vaguest. This is, you know, we were talking about this last week too, where I only have the vaguest notion of what dramas are about when I go in, and so it's always a fun little surprise.
Yeah, I mean, like it really was. I was just like, because like it was like very early on, something happened, and it just like, I think the scene just reminded me of this other like drama, like this J drama, and it's called Under the Miracle Cherry Tree, and I was like, oh, and that one the guy who died comes back. Okay.
Like, oh, okay, I get what we're doing. I get it.
This is okay, because like I mean, like to the point I didn't even look at genre tag, so like I wasn't even expecting some sort of like supernatural thing like the first minute of the show. I was like, okay,
because like it waits till a while before she goes, oh, and the second reason I'm really confused to see him is because he died, and then it like hard cuts to his death.
Because
which they haven't really explained what it is, but you can tell from the first 2 episodes there was some sort of accident.
It's something,
and she blames herself for
it. And like in the first episode, like you actually are mostly in during the first moments of their like friendship. Like so that's a good chunk of it is just like back when they're in high school. You get the very like, it kind of like starts at the beginning with the present day and ends at the present day, but like for the most part, like the first episode very much lives in that very like just before everything's happened. It's light, it's fun, it's comedy, it's like not really getting into things.
It's also 6 episodes, so like the first I actually
and they were like 45 minutes, right? I feel like
they weren't very long.
Yeah,
like
45 minutes.
They were like 45 minutes. But yeah, like a lot of really good storytelling happening in a short period of time. Like you really like it pulls you right in. Yeah, and I thought it was nice. It was a nice little departure. Like since everything we watched has been wildly different from each other, we really hit all the genres. You know,
we did with this one, and we didn't even try.
We didn't try. This was a pure accident. And you're thinking, what other genre are you missing? Well, just wait. We got one more drama to talk about. And yeah, it was just, the acting was really good.
Yeah.
It had the same guy playing her dad was the dad from Dearest Nemesis, and very similar.
Yeah, you know him. Like he's in a lot of
Ko Chang-suk.
I mean, he's in everything.
He's in so many.
He's in literally everything.
He's played everyone's dad. Every young person's dad. He's really not that old. Like,
or coworker. Like
he's only 54.
He's very much
only be so many dads. Yeah. But so will we keep watching? Wait to find out. Okay, we got one more drama that we did, and that was the 2024 drama from Japan, Usotoki Rhetoric.
Which is so funny because it's the one that I actively knew about, but I did not know anything about and was shocked when I started watching. Absolutely nothing prepared me for any of it, because even the poster doesn't
tell you anything.
It doesn't tell you anything. So I was genuinely shocked when I and it's not out crazy. It's not a crazy show. I just was like, wait, what? This is what the show is?
So it takes place in 1926.
No clue. And the poster, it's close up. It could be any. It could be any.
I
only knew that people really like this drama. It was very highly talked about, and I just was like, oh, it's a cute romance drama from 2024. Yeah. Nope.
Is it a romance drama? I don't actually know.
I don't know, but that's what I thought was.
Yeah,
because the poster
has real romance vibes.
The poster is that standard J-drama romance where it's the guy's kind of hugging
over
the girl. Yeah,
they're very close. So the plot of this one is set in 1926, and it follows this young woman who has a supernatural ability in that anytime someone tells a lie, she can hear it. Yes. It's uncomfortable for her.
It's she always there's a flash of light or something. It just highlights.
Yeah, to let you know that she's going, it plays a little leitmotif, and she looks uncomfortable. Again, anyway. But everyone in her village that she grew up in is you're a monster, you're evil, blah blah blah.
They replay the
backwaters village people.
Being you're weird all the time. Yeah. It haunts her.
And so she's like, Mom, I'm gonna go get a job in the big city. I'm gonna leave. Don't worry, I've got it all planned. Don't worry. So she goes to the big city to try to get a job. Things not great. She immediately sees an ad for a waitress job, and she goes in. Not a waitress job.
Nope.
It's actually a brothel. And and the woman's like, "Honey, you do not want to work.
You don't want to here." But
and she's like,
there's no jobs here.
You know what? I don't want to work here. You're correct. So she goes to a shrine to pray, whereupon she meets two important characters. Well, three important characters. One, a just sort of shisty private detective who has been paid. Who has been offered money off of his very late rent from his landlady if he goes and cleans up the shrine.
But she doesn't know he's a private investor at this point.
A very upright, by the books cop who's for some reason this dude's best friend. And a cat. The cat is a vital importance.
The cat is very important in the show. The cat
is a character on the show. So then the cop sort of takes pity on her a little and she ends up at this lovely little cafe run by this sweet little family who's just you know what, girl, you're new in town. Here's some free food. Don't worry about it. And the cop's like, I pay my tab. And the private detective's like, I don't. And everyone's just like, yeah, he's a fucking loser. Don't worry about it.
But at this point, nobody's lying. And she feels the happiest because she also she's strong morality about people.
She can't do
lying. It's a big thing for her.
The people who run the place, this little kid comes home and is like, oh, the person didn't pay me the money they were supposed to. And she's like, you're lying, child. Yeah. You shouldn't lie. It's wrong to lie. You're going to get someone in trouble. And the kid's like, I'm sorry, I did lie. I wanted it to get food for the cat that I'm feeding. I'm so sorry. And so she's like, good, you'll never lie again, child. And so they're like, oh, she's kind of sweet. She's so passionate about this.
Yeah. Although the prime minister is kind of he's just a kid. You could figure out, why he may be doing stuff. Yeah, I know, because I'm a private investigator, and, I know this count, but,
Because, like, the thing is, it's like, while she can always detect lies, he sort of got, like, the ability from, like, the show Psych, where he can just, like, very quickly put together
the
narratives.
Clues,
Like, he's basically like Sherlock Holmes,
and she's
but,
definitely, like,
bad.
She's, like, really only had her mother as, like, a person who's, like, been genuine with her throughout her entire life. People tried to use her, or they, like, made fun of her, so it's very clear she's not very good social. She's awkward. She doesn't quiet. So she's not going to know that, like, a little kid lying is not going to be the end of the world, and, like, shouldn't have been as, like, pressing for her
as it was. So then the little kid goes, dun dun dun, missing. Dun dun dun. And so she's like, I gotta find this little kid.
Because she feels bad. She thinks it's her fault.
She feels bad. Yeah, she thinks that she's involved
like,
somehow.
Like maybe he ran away because he was, like, she was mean to him.
Meanwhile, the parents have completely forgotten about this minor, like, lie. Like, kids sometimes lie. He apologized.
Yeah, they're fine.
Like, don't worry about it. So she's like, I gotta find this kid. Mm-hmm. And then runs up the mountain because she's like, she's probably feeding the cat. Because that's why he wanted the money, to feed the cat. Okay. And basically finds herself in the middle of a murder mystery involving a missing prostitute who has been murdered by a John. Mm-hmm. And then the private detective is like, oh shit, an actual case? Oh, yes. Shit. And then the next episode is, like, a different case that
I figured they were gonna do, like, a kind of a case by case.
And so basically, like, he's like, you should come work for me. Yes. And then she's like, as a private detective? He's like, yeah, sure, that's what I primarily do.
Sure.
But it's like, mostly he does just random odd jobs for his landlady, so she won't ask him for rent money.
Yes.
And basically, through these odd jobs, they happen into cases, I think is the vibe. Because that's what happened in episode 2. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be the continuous vibe.
I will say that out of all of these, the very first episode is very complete. You get everything that you're going to get for this.
Everything.
Like,
the
straight
vibe
up,
is there.
It, like, ends, like, as a full storyline.
Sort of situation.
It ends really sweet. She's like, helping tidy up the place. They've adopted the cat, so, like, the kid can come visit the cat. The kid is, like, found. It's actually, like, I will say that, like, maybe, like, Amanda wouldn't like the ending.
Oh, she did like it. She did like it.
Did she?
She watched it.
Okay, because I will say that the kid is in danger for his big thing, because the kid, the story is that the kid sees the guy, witnesses him burying the prostitute at that place, and then the guy turns on him and almost kills him. Yeah. But the two are able to get them out.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, it was, like, kind of interesting, because I don't know if they are going to continue to do this, but when she first goes into the brothel, the side characters are talking about how they're jealous that the one had left because she had found a rich person that liked to marry, and that's the one that died.
Yeah.
So it's really
a Chekhov's prostitute, really, is what happened here.
But, like, you got, like, and I don't know if, like, all the episodes where you get, like, the clues as the person, like, you know, the watcher.
Like, and so basically at one point you meet, like, this very rude rich girl in episode 1, and she's, like, the central character of the mystery in episode 2.
Okay.
So, but, like, the one thing, while I was watching it, I finished the first 2 episodes, and I went into my husband's office, because he works from home, and I often go and bother him at regular intervals during the day, just because, like, of course he works from home. I mean, bother him.
Might as well.
And I was like, honey, I just finished the Japanese drama that I'm watching for, like, this next week's episode, and it is so utterly charming that I wish I could just watch the rest of it right now.
Yeah.
It's so charming. It's just like, I was like, this is,
I think,
hitting me.
If you are a person who likes, like, kind of like the cozy mystery, British murder mysteries, I think this is going to be, like, a really great drama for you. I mean, like, also this is, like, a subgenre of that, like, genre where it's, like, a historical, like, private
fiction.
investigator cases.
It really struck me as like a Murdoch mystery.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like,
vibe.
yes. I was like, I was watching that. And I was like, oh my god, I could get my parents to watch this. They would actually watch.
My mom would fucking love this show.
My parents are super into it, and the Murdoch mysteries is like their
jam.
My mom
loves cozy mysteries. Loves them.
They are so into it. It's like they will not watch any like murder shows with me, but like it becomes like a British or like outside of America. It's like I'm like,
and for anyone who doesn't know, Murdoch Mysteries is Canadian, so technically outside of America, baby.
Which is why I was like, yeah, of course, yeah.
So listen, the mystery vibes outside of America, very different vibes.
Well, like we still have cozy mysteries too, and they won't like that's not like a thing that they normally pick up.
But no, like this one, I can see this being a lot of people would love this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so nice. The characters are so charming. Like the setting is so charming. Like the costumes are beautiful.
So there's
a little cat.
Yeah, the main guy is Suzuka Oiji, who a lot of people are going to know. A lot of people like. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in that that Netflix show that I have not watched. From Me to You. He
was really cute.
But like he was really also he's the like secondary lead in Silent. He's the one that like the main female lead is with in the very beginning of Silent. He's just like a really good actor, and he does some like really good things in this. Like like he's a very strong actor. I thought
and his comedic timing.
His comedic timing, but he's also really good at doing those very subtle changes in his demeanor without saying a single word. Because there is a point where like you can tell that like he's like just is like, I like this girl and I am okay with this person. Like and it's just this like very subtle shift, and he just does it really well. And she's also really cute in this. Like
she's so cute.
I mean,
they're just
it's
so
very good,
lovely.
and it's got that like found family town vibe too, and so like everybody's a character, and you keep seeing like the regulars, and
okay. Full disclosure, this one for sure. I'm gonna Liz. I don't even have to wait.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Can you tell that like maybe this is the one?
Watching this one. Yeah, like this one is so cute.
It was so cute. I was just like
and make you feel nice while watching it.
Oh my gosh, I like was watching it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's got a little fantasy element. That's so cool. And I was like, oh my god, it's in murder like mystery. Oh my gosh, I was like so like happy about everything that kept on happening, and I was like, what?
The worst
Another
part
thing?
It was the first one I watched.
Yeah, it was the first one.
And then I was like,
and I was like, oh no,
I should have been the last one I watched.
And I made a point of like watching them during this week, so it'd be fresher.
Same.
And I was like, that meant like even if I wanted to, I couldn't because of work the next day. Like I couldn't like sit there and watch the entire series. But
like I watched one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and one on Thursday. So I was like, okay, perfect. I have 2 episodes of each. We good. But this one I watched on Monday, and I was like, oh no.
I was like, oh.
But I want to watch the rest of it.
It was just so much fun. Like all of it was so much fun. Like it was just like fun because I like genuinely like the show, and it's genuinely a genre that I would get. Like this is like the type of drama that I would pick for myself anyways. But it was also fun because I was like not expecting it to be historical. Yeah. So that was like a really great like revelation. And then like the fantasy element, I was like, oh, there's like a fantasy element too. I was just like so surprised by all of it. I'm like these are like, it's fun to do these when you like don't know anything or have forgotten or like don't remember it attached to the name. Like I was just like, oh, this is great. This was fun.
So now that we've talked about all the shows, what ones here we come to the Watchlist Roulette portion of Watchlist Roulette, is which one are we actually adding to our watch list?
Well, I think we can both agree that like the
Usotoki Rhetoric 100%.
100%.
I'm gonna have it done by next week's episode.
Yeah, I think I might like just like watch it this weekend.
It's happening. It's Easter weekend. I'm gonna watch it. You know, High School Frenemy. Listen,
like
I probably won't.
No, I'm not going to.
It's not that it wasn't good. Like, I was like, this is fun, but
it's
like,
definitely not a show for me.
Not in the vibe for it.
No, and if they're not going to kiss, then like...
Yeah, if they don't kiss, what's the point?
I mean, I need a little bit something more than
Listen, you can just edge us like this with a show. You know?
And it's like, you know, like, I don't... It's not great in that, like, it's the worst with the bullying. Like, I can handle it in this writing, but like, I still don't want it, you know. So I don't. No,
I'm not interested. Yeah. And besides, like, I'm kind of Hero Class 2 is coming out next week. Like, true. I'd rather just watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and it's just like, I'm not like the you know, teacher who uplifts the students type.
I'm not into that vibe
trope.
Either.
It's like I'm not like something.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Like, these kids are
whatever.
Whatever. Way Back Love.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
It's 6 episodes. It would feel foolish not to just finish.
Oh, I also didn't mention the OST for Way Back Love is fantastic.
It's
that
really
first
good,
song from the guy from Zero Base One is so good.
Listen, the guy from Zero Base One, 2 guys from Zero Base One. Well, I'm obsessed with Zero Base One. Okay,
it's so good. I've already added it to my list.
Obsessed with Zero Base One, but they've done some really good OSTs lately. They also did like the main credit music for Study Group, which also Jessie Study Group. That's fun. That's goofy fun. I'm not sure like how much you'd like it,
Probably
but
not.
genuinely, I haven't laughed so much watching a drama in forever.
I will say people would probably think that Study Group and High School Frenemy are this like in the same genre.
No,
they're
wildly different. Because like High School Frenemy is not a comedy on purpose.
No, it's not.
Whereas Study Group is a comedy on purpose and was some of the finest comedy I've seen in a long time. But yeah, Way Back Love. It's 6 episodes, so even if I was like ambivalent on it, I'd probably finish it.
But I'm
not ambivalent on it. I like it.
I also think it's like it's kind of underrated. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it, at least that I've like picked up on.
But it did just end, so like people might.
And it's very clearly not like something that would like a lot of budget went into too. So it's got that like very kind of like I just like those kind of just like
indie vibe.
Yeah, indie kind of sweet. Like they don't like do like special things. Like it's just kind of like they use what they have, you know, and it lends to like focusing on other things that you might not, and I do like that. And it's got some things like it's definitely like a show that I would normally watch because I like those sad like shows. So it's
and finally, The Glory. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
While I do enjoy shows like this, at this one exact moment in time, I'm not really feeling the vibe for this at right now.
Yeah. That
doesn't mean that later on, like maybe this feels like a real Natalia watches it in November sort of vibe. You know, like it's cold, it's dark. I'm like, okay, let's see these ladies hash it out. So like come November, this might be a different tale. I might suddenly pick it up and have a grand old time.
Sure.
Right now, I don't think it's for me at the moment.
I'm gonna be real. I won't pick this up.
No.
I will say that it's not because I'm like guaranteed to not like it. I think, as we talked about, I think like only having the one episode didn't really give it a full chance. But like also, I just know me. It's not enough for me to like put time into it over the other 2 dramas from this list as well. Like they definitely they get my attention more than this, and like loads of other dramas that I need to catch up on get that. Maybe I'd come back to it. Maybe I'd pick up like at least the 2nd episode to kind of see the characters up, so at least I know that. But
like, and it's not that it was well acted. Like, it clearly seems like it's well written, well filmed, and beautiful looking. But I'm just not in the vibe right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people would really get into it.
I do think that, like, if this is like your type of C-drama, I think that like you should definitely give it a chance. Yeah,
I think that you'd really enjoy it if you're into like even if you've never watched like a Chinese historical before, but you like Korean historicals. I feel like this would be it has the vibe of one that would be really good for someone trying to try, you know, And apparently MDL agrees because it is rated 8.5, which is very high for an MDL rating.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, so. Yeah. So it might be good for you, but definitely Usotoki Rhetoric is getting watched this week post show. Yes. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. And yeah, that was our first attempt at our new concept, the Watchlist Roulette.
Now, if we do it again, and especially if it's the two of us, I will 1000% do 2 episodes. Yeah. And I will.
Listen, we all I'm not holding it against you. It's okay.
I just feel bad. I could have done it. That's also the thing, too. I could have watched it. Them. Yeah.
Whatever. Listen, we've all accidentally watched the wrong thing or not the right thing. These things happen. But yeah, I feel like this, to be honest, like this is a lot for like all 4 of the Nunas.
Yeah, I do agree. We'd probably,
but it would be hard. Yeah, it would be like a 3-hour episode. And no, okay, no. But when maybe if people are into this concept, when there's like an episode that's just like 1 or like 2 or 3 of us at the most, maybe probably 2 of us. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe this will come back.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be an episode 2 of.
I think it'd be fun because we could continue this like type of way and just like switch, platforms, or we could do like another thing. Like it could only be a certain type,
like a genre. Yeah. But this was really fun. I had a good time.
I did too.
Doing this, and I hope that everyone had a good time hanging out with us and listen to us talk about the 4 shows that we did watch the beginning of. And we'll be back next week. And next week, it's going to be a similar but different vibe because it is our What We're Watching episode where we just tell you, probably not these shows. We'll pick new shows.
Yeah, we won't talk about these.
Been watching. We'll do new shows to tell you about. And then at the end of the month, on the last Wednesday, we have our coming up next month live stream where we tell you all the dramas that are coming up next month. And that's on YouTube because if you're on YouTube, we're in video, unlike in all the other podcast places where we're just in audio. So if you want video, you got to come to YouTube. And if you come to YouTube, as we're legally required to say like and subscribe. But I actually would rather have comments because I love replying to comments on YouTube because that's like one of my jobs in the podcast is replying to YouTube comments, and I love it. We have one lovely, lovely individual who always comments, and I just love replying to them. So I love replying to comments. So please interact.
I know that Spotify allows you to comment as well. We just forget about that.
And also it's so hard to log in to Spotify to reply to comments.
Yeah, it like Spotify will be like, oh my god, you have like new comments, and then it will be like, yeah, let me take you through like 8,000 hoops to like go look at it because like. Because
and then the new comment will be from 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's never the newest one too. It's not even something that we can actually like just read because like you can look at the comments like even if you're not the administrator, but like okay, but that's fine. Anyway,
whatever. So YouTube's the best place to come comment because it's really easy for us to reply to them. And also, if you want to see time codes and links to everything that we talked about, you can go to our website, certifiednunas.com. It's our website where we do website things. That's a lie. We just put up every episode with links and time codes, and you can even listen to the episode on the website if you want to. And that's where those can be found. And if you want to support this podcast, like the incredible people who do, you go to patreon.com/certifiednunas to join this certified fan family. They're a fan family on the web. We love them. They get little mini episodes, including one that Jessie and I just did that just came out last week.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. We have fun with them. And we have a movie night every month. So we do fun stuff.
Yeah.
And you get special permissions on the Patreon and stuff. Not on Patreon. On
Discord.
Because we have a Discord. Listen, we're doing our best. You can follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and Blue Sky. Those are our social media networks. And that's I think that's pretty much it.
It is.
There should be more than just Jessie and I next week.
I think so.
It's never a guarantee. It might just be Jessie and us again. Who knows? But there should be more.
The pressure.
Quick, we have
watch some things.
Watch some shit.
That's not place for.
We have a good time. And we'll be back next week with a new episode. And as always, wash your hands, wear a mask, and keep enjoying maybe some new Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.